Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome in to another episode of your favorite podcast, the Raider Ragu Show. Today, we're getting back in the saddle. We're going to preview the Raiders versus Jacksonville game coming up, week 9, I believe. But first, please like, share, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcast at, please throw it on auto download for your boy. And lastly, let's not forget our sponsor, shebangboutique.com. That's SHEE bangboutique.com. Go over there and get your girl something unique and fly. Let's do it. All right, guys. So we back in the saddle after the bye week. We all know the season is not going like we wanted. The Raiders are sitting at 2-5. Over the bye week, they made a couple moves. First, let's talk about the injuries in the game. All right. It looks to me both sides had quite a few guys on the injured list. However, as of Wednesday afternoon, everybody practiced. That's on both teams. Only guy that didn't practice was Eric Murray, the safety. He got a neck issue from Jacksonville. Not sure of his status. And then what was a surprise to me was Adam Deasy, so Adam Butler and Maxx both missed practice Wednesday with back issues. So that's my first time. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's my first time hearing either one of them with a back issue. No, Maxx had went out of the game versus the Chiefs with the knee, but now he's on the injured list with a back issue. So I don't know. That's something to keep an eye on. I'm sure Maxx is going to play. I'm even sure Adam is going to play, but they are on the injured list with this, and they didn't practice Wednesday. Everybody else practiced. That's hurt. Bowers, full participant. So that's I'm going to say that's the most important thing, but that's the most important thing. Bowers, full participant. So Bowers is ready to go for the start the bye week. I mean, second half of the season off after the bye week. Bowers is good to go. He missed 3 games. And you can tell he missed those 3 games. We need him. So the Raiders made some moves during the bye week. No, not the moves that we talked about, not the moves that I think they should be making, but they made a move. And I'm not going to say that it was a bad move. I guess it's a decent move. They brought in Tyler Lockett basically off the street. He's a free agent. He got released by Tennessee and was just out there. And then with familiarity with Pete and Eugene, they felt like it was a good idea to bring him in. I sort of agree. He's not going to, set the world on fire at this point in his career. He's not going to help on special teams either at this point in his career, even though he was a fantastic return guy in his younger years in the league. But, once you get to a certain age in the league, well, you don't want to be returning punts and kicks. As you can see with Mostert's attitude, you could tell that he wasn't happy to be doing that at this point in his career, and the Raiders had him out there doing that. But where he will help is on some, in the offense, man. Geno kind of knows what he's going to do. Geno knows how he moves, knows how he breaks. They've played together, so they kind of think the routes and patterns together. I noticed Eugene kind of had a rapport with Trey Tucker. Trey is more of a hit and miss guy, though. This guy is consistent. You know what I'm saying? He's going to catch the football. He might not get a lot of yards after catch, but he will catch the ball and be reliable in that regard. So we got another reliable target for Eugene, somebody that Eugene is familiar with. Hopefully that can do nothing but help him because we know he leads the league in interceptions. We know that his year so far has not gone correctly. We need him to make a complete 360 turnaround, honestly. Um, and I know some of the issues with the O-line, and that has to be shored up too. I hope they had a hard week of practice. Um, with the coaches that they have in place, they can only be coached up as good as the coaches that they have in place. With Pete Carroll's son, Brendan Carroll, is the offensive line coach. The offensive line has regressed. I ain't hating, man. The offensive line was better last year. DJ Glaze was better last year. Plain and simple. They switched positions with JPJ. Okay. Right. They got Meredith in there playing center. That was supposed to be, this big thing that they did that was supposed to change things. Change nothing. We got a better running back. That's the only reason why we're doing a little bit better running the football. But we're still not really running that football like we should be. And, this week was a time to self-scout, right, Chip? Bring in some different packages, some different formations, some different run plays, some different sets, different ways of calling stuff. Get a fullback in there. Make it a pressing issue of running the football better. Break tendencies, right? You come in with the same formations, running the same plays. The other teams are scouting you. They're all over stuff, right? They're all over your plays. So, Chip, I hope you got a good self-scout in. Also, Patrick Graham, I hope you got a good self-scout in because they check your tendencies defensively as well. So I hope you guys took the week to self-scout, come up with some better ways of attacking the defense. Patrick, better ways of attacking the offense of the other team and breaking of tendencies, right? So you're not cluing in teams on what's going on. And also you need to be able to have a play or two that you can run no matter what. You can run it on all fronts against all teams at any time. And it should be able to be good for 5, 6, 7 yards, right? Develop a couple plays like that. So it was a lot to do. That's why I'm saying, they should have been at football practice, bro, because they ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go to class or nothing no more, bro. Y'all need to be in here learning how to play NFL football and how to play winning NFL football. Watching as much film as you possibly could and self-scouting yourself to see what you can do to turn this thing around because man, we don't want to see this trash, right? You come with all the promises and all that in the offseason about how it's going to be, and then you come out and go 2-5, bro. We tired of Raider Nation. Is tired of that shit. Get in the building and do all of the above. Self-scout yourself as players, coaches, break tendencies, come with different stuff. Anyway, man, so I hope Tyler Lockett is going to help Gino. I hope they have self-scouted and gotten better coaching and player-wise. The move that I wanted them to make, they still have not made. The move that I don't want them to make, they still have not made. So we will see. So that is, as we go into the next segment, Jakobi Meyers is still on the team as of right now. We're going to press this out Thursday afternoon, right, October 30th of 2025. And if you guys remember, this has been the Ides of the Raiders, right? The Ides of October. The Halloween massacre. The Halloween problems. Remember, the last 2 years, right around this time, we didn't have major shakeups. If the Raiders go out and shit down their leg on Sunday, you could see part 3 of the, it'll be just a couple days after Halloween. But you might see part 3 of the Halloween massacre, man. Some guys' heads might roll, some coaches, some players. So this is a critical game for the Raiders, man. And shout out to my boy, DJ Invisible, for mentioning that to me yesterday. Yeah, this is it right here. This game right here is going to make or break some guys' tenure, I think, with the Raiders. Mark Davis, this is where he gets either, nervous, or he gets to where he finally has come down and wants some answers from why is this, and that. Because last year, this is, AP had to fire a couple position coaches, had to fire a coordinator right now. Year before that, Josh McDaniels got fired right now at this point. I don't think he's going to fire Pete, but he might be like, Pete, I thought you said your son was a good coach. What's your son doing, Pete? The old line has regressed. What's Chip Kelly doing, Pete? You told me to give him $6 million. So, and what's up with you, Patrick Graham? Your defense seems to have regressed. Patrick, like, well, Pete, he got my guys playing too far back, scared to engage. So, Pete, you got some answers. It's your staff, bro. It's your team. You have answers that are needed. You have questions, I should say. You have questions that need answering, my guy. And we're going to see, man, or some heads might and should roll after this week. So, yeah, beware of the Ides of October. I don't care that it's around the 15th of the month. The Ides of October is around the 30th of the month for the Raiders, the 31st. And if you know, you know. Anyway, moving along, man. What do the Raiders need to do against Jacksonville to come out victorious Sunday at Allegiant Stadium at the crib, get back on track, get the record to 3-5? I think we can all agree, lose this game, fall at 2-6, it's a total disaster. It's a worst case scenario. Raiders are in a must win. I think we can agree with that. So, looking at Jacksonville, let's talk about what the Raiders need to do on defense. I'm going to just go out and say it, man. William Trevor Lawrence is not that good, bro. I know coming out of Clemson a few years back, it should have been several years now, we thought he was going to be the guy, thought he was a natural. I definitely thought he was going to be the guy in the league, I ain't going to lie. From what I see, man, he's kind of a bigger, little bit more athletic and younger. And he's obviously a white guy. Eugene. This guy's basically a white Eugene with perhaps a little bit lighter arm, bigger, stronger, better athlete. But the accuracy, the decision-making, the locking in on receivers, all that is just the same as Eugene. And what we've seen from Eugene in these first 7 ball games as a Raider. So that's what I'm saying. William Trevor Lawrence is out there locking in on guys, right? Whatever he reads pre-snap, he's pretty much going to go to that guy. So if you can disguise or just, fool him a little bit at the snap of the ball and jump on that, what receiver he thought would have been the guy, you're going to end up getting a sack, a incompletion, or maybe even a turnover. But the same as Eugene. At first read is not there for William Trevor Lawrence. You got action at all kinds of stuff, man. Getting a turnover, which is the best thing, but definitely not completing the pass. Perhaps even a sack or maybe he decides to run out, and that's the other thing. He will run, and he's not slow. He's not fast, but he's not slow. He's kind of a big dude, man. So he will get out there and run a little bit on those man plays where the defense is turning around running with their guy, and the line has created a lane for him to open up and get through. He will keep the ball and get a first down or two. We can live with that. What we want to do is try to keep him in the pocket and make him make decisions back there. And that's where he does not excel. We can pick this guy off. The Raiders can get an interception against this guy on Sunday. He is not a top-level quarterback. Why they decided to pay him, nearly $250 million, I have no idea. When you look at the film, I know this guy's supposed to be a guy and all that, but he's just not it, man. When you look at the other elite quarterbacks or big-time quarterbacks that got paid like that, he's not them. I don't even think he's as good as Justin Herbert. He's not as good as Justin Herbert. So that's a whole nother thing. I just don't think much of Trevor as a pro. Seems like a cool dude or whatever. But the Raiders can get after him. They do have this little dude named Washington. I forget his first name, but this is the dude. This is the type of guy that will kill the Raiders, right? It won't be Brian Thomas Jr. It won't be Travis Hunter. It's going to be this little cat like this. He's dynamic. He returns punts. He does all the little gadget plays, your jet sweeps, things of that nature. And then he also runs patterns. He mostly runs deep stuff, man. So this is a guy that the Raiders have to be ready for because, as a fan, a guy that's watched a lot of Raider football over the years, this is the type of guy on the other team that will do damage to us. The other guys that are guys, they may end up with some numbers or whatever at the end of the game. And when you look at the stats, it might look like, oh yeah, he did his thing, he got a touchdown or whatever. But in between the lines and while the game is going and 4 quarters of football, play in, play out, the little dudes like this Washington cat that be putting in work against the Raiders. So they got to have a plan for him. He's fast. He's blast bait too, so you catch him, you can knock the piss out of him. I've seen a couple times where he got piss knocked, but he don't care. He doesn't care about any of that. So be ready for the little Washington dude. Obviously, Brian Thomas Jr. They got I think the dude Strange at tight end. He's decent. They got rid of their guy Ingram to keep this guy around, and he's been decent. They beat the Chiefs. The team that beat us 31-0 and could have been 41-0. This team beat them 31-28. Got the ball back with a minute left and drove and scored a touchdown on them to beat them. So, they have that in them. But then they also lost the last 2 games. And I don't feel like the Chiefs were playing like the Chiefs were playing versus the Raiders, or in this last game that the Chiefs just played the other night here, where they pummeled somebody pretty good. Who the hell did they play? Anyway, they last Monday. I really didn't catch too much of the game because I was watching the World Series, but the Chiefs, I think they beat somebody 28-3 or something. So anyway, I don't think that the Chiefs were playing as well. However, this team beat the Chiefs. The team that beat us 31-0. They beat them. However, that just shows you the any given Sunday nature of the National Football League. Now, I still do think that we can beat them. And what I'm saying is get after Lawrence and then stay tight to the receivers because he makes bad decisions and he locks on. So if Raiders in that zone, just watch him. Watch his eyes. He's going. He's not going to fake you out at all. He's going where he's looking. And let's get some PBUs and a pick or two, man. We get a pick or two, we're going to win. So that's what we got to do on offense. They also have Travis Etienne, a good solid back, but the Raiders can handle him. The Raiders really haven't been getting gashed on the ground like that this season. Haven't had a bad rushing defense. Had a bad game against the Commanders. Commanders ran for like 2 bills, but nobody else really did that much damage. It's been the pass, and it's been the lack of production from the offense that's keeping the defense out there. You understand what I'm saying? The offense with a bunch of 3-and-outs, and the defense having to, you know, take up all that slack, man. And like against the Chiefs, the offense only ran 30 plays, right? The Chiefs ran like 80 plays against the Raiders defense, man. They can't have that. The defense can't be out there like that, offense. So some of the deficiencies on the Raider defense is because of the Raider offense, because it's been so bad, because the quarterback and O-line play has been so trash. And I hate to call NFL players trash because they are in the league, but trash in the sense of the league, not me. Of course, they're better than me in the profession that they're in, the league that they're in. They are bottom feeders in that shit. The QB and the O-line are not good. And the only way to change that around, man, is to come out and play better. Because like right now, you guys aren't good. Eugene is not good. The O-line is not good. So, offensively, what do the Raiders need to do to win the game against Jacksonville? First of all, take care of the football, Eugene. Eugene, stop staring down receivers. Be more efficient, man. That's the first thing. Don't throw any interceptions, Eugene. Other than that, get the ball to Genty. O-line, wake up, man. Get off the ball. If you need a fullback back there, Chip Kelly, figure out something, man. Put Michael Mayer back there. Get a formation going with a lead blocker. Break tendencies. Don't come with them same old run plays. Come with some different shit. Look at what he was doing in Boise. Incorporate two of those plays. Get the football to Genty on the ground. And then the other dynamic I see working is a fantastic defensive player they have named Aluakun, number 23, versus Bowers. They don't take him out on passing situations. They let him cover running backs and tight ends. I noticed that he does cover tight ends a lot. He is a key cog in their defense. He was guarding Kelsey, covering Kelsey, things of that nature. So this is going to be kind of a Bowers versus Aluakun. I feel like Bowers can win that. They start to double Bowers, then we go away from that. We go to Lockett, we go to Tucker, we go to Myers. But I want to see heavy dosages of Genty and Bowers. Heavy dosages of Genty and Bowers. When in doubt, get the rock to Brock. If he's doubled, you pick the best matchup and make a good throw. Eugene. Stop staring down receivers. And let's get to playing some better football on offense. That's what the Raiders got to do. Take care of the football. Heavy doses of Genty and Brock. Make the decision when those guys are doubled or taken away and make a good throw on those plays. The O-line throwing down the challenge to you. Be better. Don't have Eugene out there running for his life. Eugene, you stop looking at the rush. Play football. And I think we can beat these guys, man. Get the season back on track. Even though they beat the Chiefs, these guys were beatable. The performance on the last time you were out there against the Chiefs, get that out of your mind. Don't even think about that. Even if something bad happens, don't get with the woe is me. Play some damn football, man. Some Raider football for a change, man. We tired of seeing the losing, bro. We tired of seeing the losing and the getting dug out. It's just not cool, man. Sit, you know, do all this during the week, sit down on Sunday, and the team just get blew out. Go down there and act like they not coached up, like they not playing hard. It's somebody's fault. I don't care how long you've been coaching, how many Super Bowls you've been to, or national championships you won. It's somebody's fault. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the O-line is suspect too. That's something I didn't say. Also, Aiden O'Connell came back to practice. Yeah, we actually, our quarterback situation is so bad that the nation is actually happy that Aiden O'Connell's coming back. Eugene. So, I don't predict the Raiders to lose on these shows. Never have. Probably should. Can keep it to 1,000 with myself. But when I say what I say, I really be thinking that the Raiders can do that and win. This is how I would coach them up to win games. So with all that said, prediction, Raiders haven't scored over 20 points all year. Let's say we're going to go over 20, man. Let's say 23-19 Raiders. 23-19 Raiders at home, the victory. See you guys on the other side. When we recap this game, hopefully we are, celebrating the victory, lighting the victory cigar, and not, mad all over again and feeling like we've been sold a bill of goods. And also, if we lose, we could go through a Ides of October again, even though it'll be like November 2nd. November 2nd or whatever. It's still, you get it. It's the same week, the last 3 seasons, where Mark Davis has some heads roll, man. He needed some answers to some questions. And basically, like, what is this dude doing or whatever? And he ran coaches and players, got benched. So we're coming up on that. I feel like we lose this game, you might see some of that again. So we'll see. Get with you guys on the other side, perhaps Monday. Hopefully it's a Raider victory. That's all I got. I ain't going to hold y'all. Just win, baby.